We're going to be covering mainly predator calls, predator hunting, trapping.
Predator hunting is a big topic in Tennessee right now.
Yeah. And as you can see on the table, we got a lot of stuff. We're going to be giving away products. So as you see right here on our table, we got a couple items here.
Cyclops, the 1600 lumen handheld spotlight, and it's a great product.
And then the call that's going to go along with that in the package is the Mantis Pro 100 electronic game call. Like, subscribe, share, comment, engage with us on our social platforms to get your name in the hat for these products. And the new night season for coyotes and bobcats. January 18th, it opened up. It's going to run through March the 9th. And then there's a break for turkey season. It opens back up June 7th through August 10th. 30 minutes after sunset, 30 minutes before sunrise. Shotgun only, private land only. Spotlights, night vision, and thermal imaging devices are allowed, and hunting with dogs is prohibited.
Predator calling has always been something that a lot of people don't know a whole lot about. And with these electronic calls, nowadays you really don't have to be a professional.
Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This episode is brought to you by GSM Outdoors, whose vision is to preserve the sportsman's legacy, fuel innovation, and enable the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Think outside. That's where you'll find us. Now, make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's in a new year here, and we're just having a great time with Wildcast, and we're glad y'all are joining us. I got Mr. Johnny Allred helping co-host today.
Good morning.
Glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Johnny's the development director for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Foundation, and he often helps co-host, and glad he's on board with us today. And we got some special guests with us. Our GSM sponsor this year, GSM Outdoors is our great outdoor partner and sponsor, and been a great partner for the foundation for a long time.
I've been involved with GSM for many years, and what a great company and what great people.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, they are great people.
Anything hunting and fishing, they got it.
That's it. I'm learning that as we go. This is our first show with the guests from the companies, and this is Brian Robinson with us today and Steve Cobb. So
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
I'm excited to have you guys in and kick off this partnership. It's going to be fun conversations, and as you can see on the table, we got a lot of stuff. So we're going to be covering a lot of things today, and mainly predator calls and predator hunting, trapping, things like that. And we got a lot to cover. But
predator hunting is a big topic in Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
Things coming up, things are changing.
If you don't know, January 18th marked the opener of the new night hunting season. So we're going to dive into some of that today and get the details, and but it's going to be fun to jump into all that. But I first want to go back and touch with Brian here and talk about the GSM Outdoors company and the brand and kind of how all that began, and just get to know you guys before we get started.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. So GSM Outdoors was founded in 1998 by a gentleman, Tim Schnell. Had a vision out there to start building quality products for the hunting and then offer a broad selection of that. Started with Stealth Cam, being a very well-known trail camera business that is probably one of our driving entities in the business today.
Yeah.
In conjunction with that, organically, he started Cyclops lighting, which is actually a very affordable, durable light, basically used for the outdoor industry, farm and ranch, you name it, but affordable, but yet very good quality. And then he had also SSI, which is laser bore sighters, and then started acquiring companies. His first acquisition was American Hunter, and then second acquisition would have been Walker's game ears for hearing protection.
Yeah.
And then I actually owned Western Rivers myself, and in 2012, I sold Western Rivers to them and actually came on board as a regional sales manager. Now I cover quite a bit of territory as a senior regional.
Yeah, awesome.
And just enjoy the whole everything we do in the outdoors, because it's been a terrific ride as far as our growth. I was the fifth company, and now we're close to 70.
70 companies.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were just talking before the show, gsmoutdoors.com. Click on our brands, and it's amazing. You just scroll, and you just keep scrolling.
Absolutely.
Lot there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the Cyclops light. Okay. Remember my first deer trail at night? I had the little small light, the little AA, and somebody brought the Cyclops out, and I was like, oh my
It's daylight
gosh. It made trailing a deer so much easier with that light, because it really just, I mean, it lit the world up. And I was like, wow, that industry, you know what I'm saying? Technology took over, and Steve Cobb didn't have any clue. I had that little bitty light, and I had way down at the ground trying to look and couldn't find the blood. Here's some over here, you know, back and forth. And then this guy, wham.
Yeah.
Lit it up.
Absolutely.
That's a great light, great product.
And the evolution in lighting technology, it's gone from incandescent to xenon to now LED, and the lumens have gone from candle power to lumens, and I mean it's just like the brightness is unbelievable, white and bright.
Yeah,
And,
it's amazing how even the smaller packages you get such a brilliant light,
exactly.
and it makes it so much easier.
And for the hunter, I'm telling you, this technology really, because how many times have you been hunting and you've shot an animal at dark and have trouble finding
You're
it?
tracking with a little pin light.
Yep.
You keep in there trying to,
Well,
in your pack is trying to track it.
Yeah, this past deer season, my son finally killed a deer this year, and then he got a doe late in the season. And we killed that thing late, and then we had to start tracking, and it got rainy and dark, and I was like, the blood trail is going to go away.
Yep. If you had a Cyclops.
I needed one of those.
That's exactly right. I mean, and the beauty of it is we make everything from a little hat clip light to headband lights, handheld lights, and also do scope lights or gun-mounted lights. So,
Okay, wow.
and we do under Cyclops, as well as we also own another company called Coyote Light, which is more of the premium professional brand for getting out to 200 to 300 yard illumination.
You talk about those predators there now. See, that's what these folks want to hear about is these predators. I believe.
Well, before we jump in, Steve, tell us about yourself. Tell us.
Well, I have been a pro staff member for Hunter Specialties for over 30 years. Very fortunate to be in the industry and been in the industry that long, and helped develop a lot of products through the years, and field test a lot of products. Say, hey, this is no good. Yes, it is good. Actually, even come up with some of my own ideas, and actually have been in the marketing before, and done really well. I've been just very fortunate. I have worked with the U.S. Forest Service for 37 years, just retired. Oh. So I've been in the field, in the woods all my life, hunting, fishing, and just enjoying the outdoors, and building a relationship with GSM since they bought Hunter Specialties. I kind of slid under the coattail.
There you go.
he gets to do every day what I dream of getting to do sometime.
I get to play with a lot of different items and play with the wildlife. I really do. And my passion is definitely hunting, and that's just it. I love it.
So I bring Steve in. We just are finishing up today at the Music City Center for the Big Rock Sports Show.
Yeah.
Which is a huge distributor partner of ours, and they're bringing in a lot of dealers that sell our product at retail. And he actually has come in year over year after we acquired Hunter Specialties to work the booth, talk the talk, walk the walk with the dealers, and show and introduce the new products, and even do some education.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. I'm telling you, I've got a good relationship. Some of these dealers have been coming back for probably 20 years, and what's new, Steve? What have you got this year, And I've been able to show them those things, and predator calling has always been something that a lot of people don't know a whole lot about.
No.
That's something that I'm pretty good at it. I'm still learning, but predator hunting, and with these electronic calls, nowadays you really don't have to be a professional caller. You just need to know how to use it and when to use it. And that, but would you say that's right, Brian?
That is correct. I mean, you can be a novice and go out, and if you read a little bit of the instructions that come along with it, and you maybe watch one or two little YouTube tutorials on it, you can go out and have wonderful success. But the beauty of it is, and always the adrenaline rush for me has been, you're hunting the hunter.
Yeah.
Well, because that's something that's hunting you.
Yeah.
That's right. When to use it is going to start January 18th here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it's something new to us to be able to night hunt here in Tennessee, and it's really big to a lot of hunters. Deer season ending, and you sit around twiddling your thumbs. What do we do? You can't take turkey at the spring, and you can fish a little bit, but all of a sudden it's like January 20th, we can go shoot some coyotes, which we need to shoot anyway. So predators from
the predation standpoint, I mean, that's a wonderful deal that they've allowed to open, because night hunting is the ease of the sport. I mean, it actually, the success rate's far greater at night than it has been traditionally in the day.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of people killing some during the day. I just throughout the seasons and watching people post photos here and there on Facebook and whatnot. People are having some success during the day, and I'm sure these products, especially the calls, are great day or night.
Right.
So.
And state by state, this law changes.
Exactly.
So that would be something you need to make sure you're aware of is what your state.
I'm glad you brought that up. So in this guide, in this handy dandy guide right here, if you flip to page 60, it's got the small game hunting seasons and the trapping seasons, and we're going to hang out there today for a lot of it. But if you flip over to around page 46, 48, got manner and means. So you got all your rules and regs on what you can and can't do when it comes to lights and calls and things like that. So just make sure you're up to date on what's going on in the guide, and you know what the rules and regs are for here in Tennessee, because it's important to know that. But so while we're on it, I'll just go ahead and read this off, and then we'll jump into some more stuff here. But the new night season for coyotes and bobcats for 2025, January 18th, it opened up. It's going to run through March the 9th, and then there's a break for turkey season. It opens back up June 7th through August 10th. Legal hours, 30 minutes after sunset, 30 minutes before sunrise. Private land only, requires landowner permission, written text or email. It's shotgun only, no single projectile. So buckshot or smaller is allowed. Spotlights, night vision, and thermal imaging devices are allowed. Lights cannot be from an attached or attached to a motorized vehicle or cast from a public road. One bobcat per night. No limit on coyotes, and hunting with dogs is prohibited. So that's kind of the gist of what the new season is for us. So just Did you say shotguns only? Is that what that says?
Tennessee shotgun only.
Okay. Because
shotgun only.
I'm
No
from South Carolina. South Carolina, we can shoot the rifles at them. So, there's a change right there.
Yeah.
If whatever state you're in, you better be aware of what the game laws say. So very, very good.
Very much appreciate you saying that.
Thank you.
So, along with this partnership with GSM Outdoors, we're going to be giving away products. So, as you see right here on our table, we got a couple items here that I want to just highlight real quick.
These are ours? I thought we were.
Well,
you better talk to Brian.
Maybe we could test it out before we give it away. Now, these two products here are going to be the giveaway for this show. And talk a little bit about these two products, and then we'll talk about how you get entered.
So, what I brought in today is a Cyclops. It's 1600 lumen. Handheld spotlight, comes with a red or green diffuser cover for that.
How does that help, or what does that do?
I mean, basically what it does is the red light, they say that the coyotes and obviously wildlife, they can't gauge the distance. So therefore, yes, they can see the red light, but the depth perception of how far it is away.
Gotcha.
It actually does deter them and
bring them in close.
Brings them in a lot closer.
And with a shotgun, you're going to need that actual illumination of green or red. Is that which one do you prefer? Is it? So coyotes get schooled. If you use red and you shoot on them once, they may not ever come back into that. So you might go to a green. Okay.
And that's the same way with even electronic sounds. If you've brought a coyote in and you've educated him to a certain distressed rabbit sound, he may have been shot at it a couple of times. He knows better than to come back for that meal.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go put myself in harm's way. But this is rechargeable, and it's a 1600 lumen handheld spotlight. So Cyclops, and it's a great product.
Perfect. And then the call that's going to go along with that in the package is the Mantis Pro 100 electronic game call, Western River brand. This was your company, right?
Yes.
Western Rivers is a company I started back in 1986 with my uncle, and we started as actually making coon hunting lights, and evolved into night sport hunting lights, and then after that we actually evolved into predator calls. And our first claim to fame was obviously coming out with a cassette and a large library of sounds, and then we were the first to ever come out with MP3 downloadable. So instead of having to run back to the store to get it, you could actually go online, download the sound, put it right on the call, and head out hunting.
What's great about this, it comes with the sounds, right? It's preloaded, ready to go.
Preloaded with 100 sounds. It's got a remote control that you control it up to about 200 yards, depending on your terrain. If it's heavy foliage or hilly conditions, it may actually back it up to about 100 yards. But wide open line of sight conditions, you'll get 250.
Okay.
And but good high quality sounds, all have been digitally remastered, and does very well. So that is the it does have an LCD on the remote control, and it runs on AA batteries.
Okay.
And a 9-volt for the remote. But great little unit, and again, the sounds are all still out there available for downloading, and we've done very well with the Mantis 100 unit.
Well, we were talking earlier. It's come a long way because you said records. You had sounds on record, then 8-track, and
well, I didn't personally, but one of the company we acquired,
the history of
Johnny Stewart.
Johnny Stewart was
he was kind of like that legacy brand. Probably the originator, the founder of Predator calling digitally. I mean, I'll give that to Mr. Johnny. He really
started it.
He started it, and he started with a record player.
I didn't have any records, but my first Predator call was a Johnny Stewart 8-track.
8-track.
Well, the first one that I ever saw used was actually the old big horn phono with a what is it, the 33 album.
Yeah.
Spin them on a turntable. Wow. And that was the first ever one that I saw.
It's come a long ways.
we were
digital
talking
downloads now.
Exactly.
It's went through physically, Predator callings went through everything from mouth to phono, 8-track, cassette, CDs. It was out for a while, and then into the fixed digital, and then downloadable MP3 digital.
Yeah.
Can you imagine setting up that record player to go predator hunting? It'd probably take you 30, 40 minutes to get set up to make that one call, man. And nowadays, it's so convenient and so easy to put that call out, and you ready to hunt in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I would say 10 minutes max. You could get set up and go from spot to spot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, technology, it's ever changing, and we started out with it was their SD cards, but they were before that. There was like a MD. It was MC cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
MMC cards. MMC, and then it went into SD. And SD's been around for quite some time, but there's also been even different formats of the SD cards out there.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
I'll tell you, I can remember so many phone calls somebody trying to download off the internet or whatever when we first started that. I'm sure you went through it too.
Right.
These people buy this and they couldn't get it to happen, and then they call Steve.
New technology.
Mo, and I'm a computer idiot too. So I'm like, wow, you're calling the wrong one here. Let me give you this 1-800 number.
But if you go back to the old cassette version, which cassette probably had the longest running success out there, and then when you got into that, you run a cassette 30 minutes, all right, it's the same sound over and over. With digital technology, you're basically like short little clips, but then they start looping.
Yeah.
No different than what a cassette tape did. But with this, and you've got all of those at your disposal, if you're going out, you start with like a distressed rabbit sound, and it's not really yielding you what you need. You can actually change it up to something like a jackrabbit, or you can even go into a canine distress, depending on the time of the year and, what, either they're hungry or they're mating, or, their pups out there just wanting to play and howl. You've got all of that at your fingertips to kind of play with it and animate those scenarios with the new technology.
I'm sure there's all kinds of techniques and ways to pattern those sounds together and different seasons, like you're talking different seasons. We're going to dive into more of that because I want to hear what this thing sounds like. But so if you want to get your name in the hat for this Mantis Pro 100 and the RS 1600 Cyclops Light, here's what you got to do. So this is new this year, and we're excited to get this going, but it's important to subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube, our YouTube channel. Click the bell to be notified so that you know when the new shows are coming out and that kind of thing. Subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. So if you listen to this show, subscribe on whatever platform you're on. We are now hosted on Spotify, so follow us there. Spotify is a great outlet for getting this kind of content. Like, share, comment on all the posts. Engage with us. That's important. The more you engage, the better chances your name gets in this pot. And there'll be more details on all of this in the comments of the show on YouTube and Facebook and all those different places you find us. So just follow those details. Also, you can find us on Carbon TV. Don't forget about Carbon TV and our 30-plus radio stations across the state. And speaking of radio stations, I did not highlight at the beginning, Thunder Radio 1320 AM in Manchester. They run this show at 6:30 on Sunday mornings. So we appreciate our radio partners, Thunder Radio 1320 in Manchester. All right, so I'm anxious to hear I'm anxious to hear some of these sounds and understand a little bit about how to use this call.
Okay. It's what I was showing, the convenience of how compact and how easy this thing is. And on this particular one, it's got a button here, hold it for 2 seconds, and then this comes on. The remote, you hold it for same thing for 2 seconds, and then the remote comes on. And Brian will show you some of the sounds that it makes. And I would say it's really personal preference on what sound that you like to hunt with, you know.
Right.
But this thing has over 40 preloaded sounds. I think this one does, doesn't it?
Exactly. So, I mean, you can go anything. I mean, coyotes are always hungry. They're always looking for that opportunity to eat. And with that, you know, we've got either field mice, rodents, cottontail. I mean, they will eat, you know, smaller canine species as well. So, I mean, people have seen it coming into subdivisions, developments where they eat their puppies.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and they are a nuisance when it comes to that. I mean, but that being said, you know, we have all kinds of distress things available, or sounds available here. And then there's other seasonalities where they're mating. So we have mating sounds and locating sounds. So depending on, you know, where you're at. But, you know, I'll go out and I'll either use like a field mouse or a cottontail, and then, you know, start out with some kind of a feeding sound and then roll into that. You don't ever want to overcall. You want to call just a little bit, shut it off for a few minutes, and then kind of watch the terrain, because, you know, they're still coming in, they think it. But you don't want to actually increase the volumes either.
You keep it at a low tone. I was just going to ask, you keep it at a low tone.
Yeah, you don't want them
their hearing is so good anyway. It doesn't have to be loud, probably.
That's correct. And you don't want them to come in thinking they're, you know, this Jurassic, you know, jackrabbit coming in too. So
If I can handle that guy.
exactly. It's like, I better call in the rest of the pack. But the beauty of it is, and I mean, you've got all of that at your fingertips. So, I mean, I can go back and forth. And if I'm not having success with the canine or, you know, any of the meal tickets, then I'll go into the mating, which mating season kind of starts January through March, you know. So that's kind of, you know, they're out roaming and getting ready to, you know, populate the market a little bit more, or the area. But, you know, just to kind of give you an idea, I mean, this is a jackrabbit distress. It's a little bit more raspy. So basically, that's like a jackrabbit's distress. It's dying, you know, something's going on with it that, you know, it's just basically in distress.
So that sound will keep rolling until you're done. You stop it.
I just stop.
You have the full control. Okay,
full control. So it basically will sit there and just keep looping. So it's like a 5-second clip, and then each 5 seconds it just loops over and just rolls right back into it again. But the beauty of it is, like I said, is I can strap up one and go right into a cottontail distress. And you hear the significance. You have the raspier voice with the jackrabbit, where this is more, you see more of these cottontails in our neck of the woods, at least over in West Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that's just another variation of a cottontail there.
A little deeper, a little louder. Yeah. Cool.
So, depending on, like, you know, you get a lot of jackrabbits, you know, swampy areas, but then, you know, out in South Texas and that area as well.
So rabbits, what else? What other types of sounds are we talking here?
So, I mean, we have everything from raccoon, rodent. We have turkey sounds on there. So you have turkey chicks on there that they could possibly come into. We have hog sounds. So if you're out, you know, hog hunting, or, you know, if you got a distressed hog or piglet sounds, you know, coyote are coming in for that.
Do you change these sounds in one sitting? Like, you're sitting there for 15 minutes and nothing's coming in, just flip over and change to something else?
Yeah, I mean, if you've actually sat there for 15 minutes and you've had no action at all, or, you know, nothing, then you actually would go into another sound state.
Right, yeah. And this, I was just thinking, some of my folks back home, crow call. It's got a crow sound, so they actually will crow hunt with this particular call.
Oh, yeah.
So there's another hunting opportunity for this particular product right here because of those downloaded sounds. One of the key things that I've had success with the predator calls is making sure the wind direction's in your favor also, okay? So if you've got a thicket that you think that's where the animal is at, make sure you're downwind from the call. And it seems to... Their nose, their sense of smell is very, very good. So just make sure that wind direction is something that you've got to think about when you have a setup. If, in other words, if you're setting up in the wrong wind direction and your wind's blowing into the thicket, he's probably not going to show.
So a novice predator hunter could probably throw in some deer and turkey techniques just to
exactly.
To get in, hopefully in a position to take one.
I've always said that a good turkey hunter is more than likely a really good deer hunter.
Oh yeah,
he's a really good deer hunter. But more than likely, if he's a successful turkey.
Yeah.
So I would say the same goes here. Is some of my buddies at home in South Carolina do this, and they're very good woodsmen, and they pick up on the predator hunting pretty quick. So it's something that I believe in a small amount of time you can become successful. And one of the things that this night hunting thing that's been going on here in Tennessee, I mean, this is something that those animals are nocturnal.
They are.
And they're easier to call in at night. So this is something that is a game changer, in my opinion.
One of the, talking about sets and things like that. I mean, if you go out, you set up 15 minutes to 20 minutes and you haven't seen anything, time to move.
Okay.
You go on to the next set.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm thinking that novice hunter like myself, if I got a call and I got my light and I'm headed out there, get in my set, I'm going to throw up a rabbit, you think? Be a good way to start? The distressed rabbit, something like that?
That's correct.
The rabbit or the mice?
And the mice, okay.
The mice is one of the favorite food of the coyote is the mice. A lot of people don't know that, but mice are it.
That's not my first thought, but
that's exactly what in my experience. That's what they're
probably
after.
Right. If you ever, I roll hay for cattle. If you look at those rolls of hay out there, if you're watching a field deer hunting, those coyotes will check every one of those rolls of hay. They'll go through there and check them.
So they will, and right after you cut that hay, and obviously you still have a lot of field mice out running around. What do you see out there either scouring around? Coyotes, bobcats, right after the cut, and first things in the morning, they're out running around.
They're a little bit easier to catch than a rabbit. So if you got a lot of mice, you're probably going to have a population of coyotes there. That's the way this thing works.
So that's cool. That's a good idea for hunters that are hunting around a bunch of farms. If you got a piece of property, if you got a few farms around you.
The beauty of coyote hunting, too, is like we farm 1,000 acres roughly in West Tennessee, but we also deer hunt on it. We turkey hunt on it. And, it's more for family.
Yeah.
But, if you came to me or Johnny came to me and said, hey, I want to go coyote hunting, I'd say absolutely. Whereas I wouldn't probably extend that liberty to turkey hunter deer hunter.
You can get your foot in the door a lot easier to get coyotes on somebody's place. Even around here, somebody's hunting deer and they don't want anybody on their property. But if you ask turkey hunt, bring it on. Come on in here and shoot some of them.
Go shoot every one of them you can, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, okay. Johnny, let's give Brian a call. I want to do some coyote hunting.
Let's do it.
That's close enough.
I would love to.
Oh man, this has been fun. I've learned a lot, really, because this is very new to me, and I appreciate y'all being here and talking about this, offering up your products for our listeners. I know they're going to enjoy it and get into this, so it's going to be fun.
GSM's been such a great partner to the foundation and the agency, and we really appreciate it. I mean, they've been a partner of us a long time, and it's been a really good relationship.
Well, I mean, as we as a company, everything that we manufacture obviously is used by people out there that you actually are providing the conservation for, and making sure that everything is safe and the habitat's going to be around for years. So we want to partner with you guys.
Thank you,
and thank you for all you guys do.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, and also thank you for being here today. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, engage with us on our social platforms to get your name in the hat for these products, and keep coming back, keep watching, keep listening. This is Tennessee Wildcast, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Join us as we celebrate 75 years of conservation in our great state. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.